inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now, with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Not Your Mother's Hobbies. Today we are looking at the hero from Against the Ogre Horde, our Druid. Now, some of you who had the Druid from the Avalon pre-release might notice these guys are a little smaller than the previous one. We're going to be painting the male Druid here, but we do have a male and female counterpart. Really cool sculpt. Really like all the flavor on this guy. Lots of cool stuff going on. Furs, leathers, different textures. Loving that staff and the pose. That goes for both of these. So let's get into it. Alright, we're going to start things off a little differently here. We're going to use bold titanium white, or any white that you got, and we're going to put this inside the grooves, inside those runes that are carved on the staff, and just make those really, really white and stand out. Then we're going to use Militarm Green for the fur. I thought it would be cool to add a little bit of color to the fur rather than make it strictly gray. Maybe it's like a mossy magic bear, or just a moss-covered giant sloth or something. Who knows? But I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of color. We go over that with some Longbeard Gray, or any kind of cool gray dry brush here. Just going over that to pick out some more of those raised details and make it not look so muted. And we're using Wildwood for all of our leather belts. So all the belts and straps and buckles and stuff all around there is going to be in this darker Wildwood brown. There's some pouches, a lot of little hidden belts looping all around. We're also going to use this for his pants. You could use maybe Basilicanum Gray, like a dark gray, but I felt it went really well with like more earthy tones and kept it more in line. But yeah, so we're using this on all of these little straps and stuff. He's also got some straps on his wrists for his bracers and things like that. Next up in our browns, we're using Snakebite Leather. And this one is going to go around on his leather, his leather tassel he's got here underneath. Maybe a hidden tunic or something, as well as his boots. So those are going to be done in that warmer, brighter Snakebite Leather brown before moving on to the skin. And this guy's skin from the artwork is paler kind, so we're going to use our pale skin recipe. Starting with Guilliman Flesh to block it all in, we're going all the way around him and getting that skin done up. Don't forget to do his little chest bit. He's got his taco meat hanging out, and his glistening abs. He's got some yoked up abs there going on, so get all of his exposed skin and hit that with that Guilliman Flesh. We're using Skeleton Horde here for the trim on his leather tassel here, as well as I think he's got a canteen in the back that I chose to do that. He's got some wrist straps and some bones. We're going to do all those up in Skeleton Horde. If it's not dark enough for you, do another layer. If you like that sepia look, just do one. We're using Black Templar here to do the metallic blocking in, and that's just because we've got Black Templar out for the claws and for his Druid staff, so why not just use it for the belt buckle? It's going to get chromed up anyway, and we want dark recesses for that, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Speaking of the staff, we are going to go around and hit that staff with this black. In the artwork, he's got kind of I guess it's a magic black oak or maybe a charred wood or something. We're going to use that black for that. And go around these runes as cleanly and precisely as you can. It is going to be tricky, but don't give up. If you get some black in there, just let it dry completely and then go back in with the white and touch it up. We're using Mantis Green here, Mantis Warriors Green from the Citadel line. You can use any kind of bright green for the wrappings along that staff. And then Orc Flesh or another kind of verdant green. We're using this for the leaves. He's got a couple leaves on his belt, and he's got some leaves hanging off of that staff there. And it's just going to make him look a little bit different from those wrappings, from the mossy hide on his shoulders. It's going to make sure they all stand out separately. Apothecary White here, we're using that for his white hair. Just go around quickly and get that all contrasted up, get those recesses all shaded up nicely. And then lastly, we are using Frostheart to do the bottle hanging from his hip. Alright, for our first bit of layering, we are doing the metallics. So we're going in with gunmetal and just doing that little belt buckle. That's all he's got for metal on him. He is a druid, follower of the nature magic. They don't really like metal that much, so just this little belt buckle. Hit that with Nuln Oil Gloss. That is a discontinued paint, so use your dark shade and then a glossy coat over top. Now the skin, we're layering up with Cadian Flesh, and that's just going to smooth out any blemishes, as well as smooth out the tone in case you have tonal variation that's not supposed to be there. So just go around and smooth that out, layer up that mid-tone. Now Kislev Flesh, this is going to be our first highlight. Go around and hit all those prominent points on the miniature, so tips of fingers, raised ridges on the hands, his crusty abs, cheese grater abs, get those going, his chin, his nose, his cheeks, his ears, etc. Our next layer is going to be bringing back those bones, making those bones stand out real bright. We're using Wraithbone to do that, and just highlighting up all little bony bits. So for me, that would be the bone fangs on the front, the canteen on the back, and the little in-between bits on this trim of his tasset. To finish up the skin, we're going to do a final highlight of Pallid Witch Flesh, just a pin highlight going in there, and glossing up some of his muscles, his fingertips, little backs of his hands, get some of those vein details going, those cheese grater abs, those crusty cheese grater abs, the tip of his nose, his ears, etc. All those little raised bits, just add some pin highlights here and there to really make those details stand out. And we're using chrome for the only bit of metal he's got on him. That's the belt. Just some pin highlights here and there. And then bold titanium white. We're going to use this to go around and get all of the stitches and those big cross bandings on the back of his tasset as well. Just going to go in and pick those out. I'm also going to do the stitching on the tasset. Those little individual threads, try to pick them out and make them stand out apart from the more bony sepia lining that we did. We're also going to do that anime hair that we always do, just going in there, getting that kind of shine line, that L'Oreal line, and then pick out some hairs to highlight, as well as his eyebrows and the mutton chops and mustache. And lastly, we're going to base him like we normally do. So that's a gray paint, a texture paint, a dry brush, a wash, and a dry brush. And there you have it. The Druid is complete. This guy was a lot of fun to get into after all of those ogres. Really nice to get into something more smaller scale, more, well, I guess just more detailed but less detailed. I don't know, just all those big surfaces on the huge guys can get a little monotonous after a while. It can be a bit of a endeavor, and this guy was much needed little break. Really tight-knit look to him, a lot of cool, meaningful detail. Yeah, I just really dug this guy. And you can see we also did the female druid. We've got her matching close enough to that artwork as well. She has a lighter staff, still has those white runes in there. She's got red hair, gray, brown furs. So same, but different. You can use a lot of the techniques that you did for the male druid. You can use those right on her. Different paints, but a similar look. Or you could even go off model, off of that concept art, card art, and just do them however you want. Do them the same. And we also have their familiar, their pet, the companion wolf. Looking nice and orange and cool. This was a different kind of wolf that we've seen, not just in scale, but the artwork had some brighter, more vibrant, colorful fur. So I chose to really go with that, making this orange fur some different patches. We see some brown, some lighter kind of sepia colors in there as well. Really fun to paint. Really liked it. Here they are side by side. You can see kind of the differences, the similarities going on. Hope you guys liked what I came up with here for these two. Let me know down in the comments what you think, as well as what you're painting, what you're currently on. I know some of you guys are still catching up or have just started your journeys on painting Hero Quest. Let me know what's going on. Are you ahead of me? Or have you already started painting the jungles of Delthrak? Let me know. Give me a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Big shout out to the patrons. It's been fun over on the Discord for me to like post updates and kind of have casual talks about hobbies and what we're into, what we're going on. So thanks for that. We've got one more video before moving on to Jungles of Delthrak, so look forward to that next week. Bye-bye!